Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nick and Knarf. That's Nick and Frank. We're bringing you some great music today. Obviously, Jethro Tull, you've read the title. This is from the Apassionplay, which came out in 1973.
That's right, on the heels of the unique new concept album that preceded it, Thick as a Brick. Jethro Tull decided to expand on that new progressive territory they discovered and moved into a unique experience called a passion play, which Nick and I were fortunate enough to go see at the Forum in LA right after the album came out.
And you know, I'm going to tell you right now, I did not like Jethro Tull in the beginning when they came out. And I don't know if it was me or Frank said, let's go see them in concert. I am not kidding you, the two furthest.
I thought you liked Aqualung, though, didn't you?
I did, but I wasn't crazy about them when they first came out. We got literally the worst seat in the house. We were up, if you looked at the stage, we were at the very last row in the very back of the Forum, and we had what we thought were going to be lousy seats, which ended up being phenomenal. We were both so engrossed in this concert. I fell in love with Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull at this concert.
And it was easy for a certain substance to be passed around unnoticed prior to and during the performance. So that was an added benefit of being up where we were.
And this is the first concert where I ever lit a cigarette lighter, you know, when we were lighting the light. So this is 1973. First time I ever did something like that because I was too cool to do stuff like that.
That's right. We were all too cool to do stuff like that. But no, what's a memorable concert, just amazing. And I still will never forget, and both of us, Nick, will never forget, they started the show with a giant screen behind the stage where the band was. And Jethro Tull, the band were kind of hidden, you know, and it just showed the cover icon of the album, you know, the ballerina. It starts there, and then you hear this drum beat, like a heartbeat, boop, 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 and it got lighter and louder and louder, and little by little, the ballerina slowly arches up. If you look on YouTube, you can find this. In fact, I may put the link in where they actually have the staging of how they actually did it for the screen props during the performance of the concert. And slowly she gets up and gets up and gets up, and then she turns around and then blows through the screen, and then the screen exploded, and then Jethro Tull was right there on stage, blew right into the beginning of Passion Play and never let up.
Now, Jethro Tull is, if we ever do a top 10, they're in my top 10 all time of my favorite groups. And in my opinion, just my opinion, I know I'm going to hear from you guys, he's the greatest frontman who ever played with any band. I know I'm going to hear about Freddie from Queen. I know I'm going to hear about Mick Jagger, of course, and there's going to be others. But in my opinion, and for my taste, Ian Anderson is the man.
And besides just being the great performer, singer, I mean, we talk about a guy who was a virtuoso musician, playing the flute, playing the guitar.
Piano.
He would play the piano. In Passion Play, I remember he also played like the clarinet. He does clarinet, he does flute, for all the things he does, no one in the history of rock and roll can match what he does as a one-man performer, a one-man wrecking crew on stage.
He could... For some, you could just see the rhythm that this man had, his hand movements, his leg movements, how he would coordinate a beat with his body, and the way his eyes light up when he's hitting certain notes.
Now, I'll tell you this,
amazing.
Here in Tucson, after I moved to Tucson, we saw Jethro Tull at the Forum here in 1973. I was blessed to get a chance to see him one more time in 1994. 4 or 5, where he was playing stuff. Okay, he had slowed down a bit, but he was still awesome. His voice was deeper. This is 20-something years later, and he was still, a dominating force on the stage. He's just absolutely one-of-a-kind human being, one-of-a-kind performer, songwriter, performer, stage present, musician, everything. Just brilliant, a genius.
And I remember when we all watched Johnny Carson at night, The Tonight Show. He was on Johnny Carson one night, and I happened to listen to him, and the man could speak on any subject. I don't care if it was politics, social issues, whatever. He was just like an average kind of guy that you would think that if you met him at a company meeting that, you know, you guys might talk about sports, you know, just that kind of a guy.
A genius and a tremendous human being and a tremendous, tremendous artist. Anyway, we're going to play only a portion of Passion Play. I know it's a long, on my CD, it's like a 45-minute one-track song. But we are going to begin with the final 14 minutes of the song, which begins with Act 3, Part C, the Overseer Overture, and goes into all of Act 4 and ends the album. So I want you to put your seatbelts on, turn up the volume, rip off the knob, because we're going to take a ride with Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull.
And real quick, just want you to listen to the drumming in this by
Barrymore Barlow. No relation to Fluffy Barlow.
Yeah, Barrymore Barlow. I mean, this guy is, talk about an unsung drummer.
That's right.
Listen to his drumming.
Okay, here we go. The final movements of a Passion Play, Jethro Tull.
For leaving and that being done, I've put in the request to take up my turn in that forsaken paradise that calls itself hell, where no one has nothing and nothing is well-meaning fool. Pick up thy bed and rise up from your gloom, smiling. Give me your hate and do as the loving heathen do.
Gosh.
Colors I've none, dark or light, red, white or blue. Cold as my touch, freezing. Summoned by name, I am the overseer of you. Given this command to watch over our miserable sphere, fallen from grace, called on to bring sun or rain, occasional corn from my oversight grew. On the earth, fire with mine angels from a far better place, offering services for the saving of face. Now you're here, you may as well admire all whom living has died from the benign reconciliation. Legends were born surrounding mysterious lights seen in the sky flashing. I just lit a back and then took my leave in the blink of an eye.
Playing the oboe there. Another wood instrument.
Passionate play, join round the maple and I offensive, right, wrongly. Summoned by name, I am the overseer of you.
First Lincoln Palmer.
Phantom of the Opera. Hard to believe it's almost 50 years ago.
Flee the icy Lucifer, oh, he's an awful fellow. What a mistake, I didn't take a feather from his pillow. Here's the everlasting rub, neither am I good nor bad. I'd give up my halo for a horn, and the horn for the hat I once had. I'm only breathing, there's life on my ceiling, the flies that are sleeping quietly. Twist my right arm in the dark, I would get 2 or 3, 4. One of those days that never made impressions on the old score. I would gladly be a dog barking up the wrong tree. Everyone's safe, we're in the grave. See you there for afternoon tea. Time for awaking, the delayed is making a brew of and baking near
More cowbell.
Best cowbell. That's all Ian Anderson.
Amazing. Just love this drummer.
Pick me up at 9:30. There's not a moment to lose. That is the train on which I came. On the platform are my old shoes. Station master rings his bell, whistles blow and flags wave. A little of what you fancy does you good, or so it should. I thank everybody for making me welcome. Might stay, but my wings have just dropped off.
So
Him again. Different instrument.
stir.
nice note that was. Who knew? Funky.
Hail, son of kings, make the ever-dying sign. Cross your fingers in the sky for those about to be. There am I, waiting along the sand. Cast your sweet spell upon the land and sea.
You're a wah-wah pedal there. Wow, wow.
Take your hand from off the chain, loose a wish to still the rain, the storm about to be. Here am I, voyager into life, tougher the swords that tread the night's edge. Break the circle, stretch the line, call upon the devil, bring the gods on fire in the conflict to rebel. The passengers upon the ferry crossing, waiting to be born. Renew the pledge of life's long song, rise to the valley horn. Animals queuing at the gates that stand upon the shore. Breathe the ever-burning fire, the gods the ever-adore.
That's such a nice riff.
The flute.
Self-taught flute.
Man, son of man, by the flame of ever life, yours the breathe and breath, the pain of the living being. Here am I, road is not away from the dark into ever
puts those notes in there at the end?
If that isn't 14 minutes of the finest, most incredible progressive rock music in rock history, I don't know what is. I mean, it is just amazing. That is my favorite part of this album, those final 14
It just gets me. It
minutes.
says the critics, they kind of panned it. But of course, it was the #1 selling album in 1973.
73, yeah, it was the second #1 album for Jethro Tull, Passion
In the
Play.
States, in the States.
In the U.S., right, in the U.S., you know. But, I mean, it just shows you that the appetite for complex rock and roll that was mixed with jazz, classical, and other stuff was really taking off. In 73, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer are rising to the
Yes,
stratosphere.
the group Yes.
Yes is taking off. Genesis, I mean, you've got all kinds of prog bands that are really establishing their identity. But Jethro Tull didn't start out that way. It was really blues, right? Really
Yep.
rhythm and blues and hard driving rock rhythms all the way through Aqualung, and then he went a totally different direction with Thick as a Brick and A Passion Play.
Yep.
Just a remarkable. I hope you enjoyed that, because I sure as hell did.
Let us know what you think, guys. I love it. I wish we had headphones on so we could hear it even better, because every instrument just was highlighted at the right time. The complex music. I mean, he played music for himself and shared it with us, and I just appreciate it so
Ian
much.
Anderson was a gift to the reality, okay? This man
Just
came
so
from
good.
wherever he came from, and he blessed us with such amazing legacy of music. And if you guys enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe, like, share. Leave us your comments about Tull. Tell us what your favorite Tull album is. Do you prefer the progressive Tull, the minstrelly Tull, the lyrical Tull, the rock and roll, the R&B Tull? I mean, so many choices, but great.
And until next time,
Oh, that was a good one.
thank you.
Adios, and thanks for being here.
Nick and Knarf signing out.
May the Tull be with you. Bye-bye.